What's up, people? This is your boy Darren Brown coming to you on a Wednesday. Getting ready, going to we have a presentation where we're talking to some mortgage professionals and we're talking to some real estate professionals regarding insurance, and which is very important. What we finding out more so, how I've been talking to you guys over the past is that, you want to be able to close your deals. You want to be able to, you do all that work, you go out and get the listing, you spend the money that you have to spend to get that listing out there, you do your open houses, you advertise and all that, but you want to take that next step, man. And that next step is you want to make sure that that house is insurance ready. And if that house is not insurance ready, I'm telling you right now, it is a problem. I don't care what insurance company is out there, I don't care what insurance agent is telling you or whatever, it will present a problem if that house is not insurance ready. And what we talk about here is insurance ready. You got to make sure that that roof is insurable, okay? That roof cannot be 20 or 35 years old and, got patches on it and you expect to get insurance carried to insure it, okay? The same thing, you can't have a water heater out there leaking. You can't have a electrical panel that has the fuses missing. It's double tap. Some of it, have aluminum in it. These are things that's why you have those reports. And so those reports give you an indication of what you need to do. So if you're walking in a home, especially an older home, if you're walking into an older home and you're getting that listing, these are the things that you really need to ask that homeowner, because the homeowner is comfortable. Because remember, we're comfortable with what we're comfortable with. So if you've ever been living in that for 10, 15, 20, 30 years, whatever, everything works for them, it's fine. But remember, that house is not for them anymore. That house is for the next person that's coming in. That's for the next person who's going to be, opening that door. And with that, that becomes new financing. There's new. What's up, Donnie P? There's new financing. There's new insurance coverages on that home. And so, with that being said, everything got to be like current. And if you're not current on those things, then what happens is a deal won't close, okay? I've seen deals, and been part of what deals people come to last minute, they want something. I'm looking at the picture and said, this is not going to fly. And I'm not going to write insurance for you that I know that's going to cancel in 1 or 2 weeks. No, I'm not going to do that to that homeowner, because that homeowner already, probably going through a lot of stress in terms of buying something that probably is going to be the biggest ticket item of their life, to come and find out a month later that their insurance is getting ready to cancel. I'm not that person. I'm not going to do it. So what I will try to, that's why I'm trying to educate the mortgage professionals out there, the realtors out there, to say, okay, all this stuff can be avoided if we attack it from the very beginning. Okay, I'm not saying every house has to have a new roof. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying every house has to go out and get a new water heater. I'm not saying that either. I'm not saying that you got to have impact windows or things like. I'm not saying that either. What I am saying is that when you can go look at a roof and you can see with your own eyes when you pull up in your car that that's a problem, then that's a problem, and that needs to be addressed, because that seller may not know that's a problem. Okay, and so that seller needs to know to say, hey, you know what? This roof is going to be a problem for the next person coming in. Now, if you're paying cash for it, I get it. If there's no bank involved and you're just going to come out your pocket and pay for it, then you don't have to put on insurance out. There's no law to say you have to have insurance on your house if your house is paid for. Okay, that's just your choice at that point. Okay, it's a risky choice, but it's your choice. But if you have financing on your house, you got a mortgage on your house, you got a second mortgage on your house, you got whatever, it's going to be required, because they need to protect their interests. Okay, and for those who's out there, just for you to know, for the record straight, some of you guys say, well, you know what, I don't have to worry about it. I don't have insurance on my bank has insurance on my house. Do you look at your policy? If that's the case in your situation where you have your insurance canceled and your bank has put insurance on your house, number one, look at the coverage. You really don't have any protection, because look who is the insured on there. Your name is not the insured anymore. You're nowhere to be found on it. It is the bank who is the insured. So in an event of your house getting blown away or whatever, that money doesn't come to you. That goes to the bank, because they're the one who is the insured on that. Okay? All that property that you have in your house, your TVs, your furniture and all that, the bank is not insuring that, because they don't have an interest in that. They're not insuring your personal stuff. They're not insuring all the stuff that you have in that you done, you know, saved up over the years. They're insuring their interest on it. So if you got that kind of situation where your insurance canceled because because you didn't fulfill an obligation that the insurance company wanted you to go through, and you say, okay, I got insurance on my property, yeah, you're somewhat correct, but that insurance is not for you. Okay, you don't have a say so in terms of how your house is going to get repaired on that. Okay, because the insurance company is paying that. So my suggestion to you is that you need to get out that situation. How do you get out that situation? Is you make sure that your home is insurance ready. Okay, it doesn't take much. You look at your policy, and everything is going to go. I mean, they have different coverages. It's go A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay, loss of use is one of those things that people really don't quite understand. What is loss of use? Loss of use is pretty much simple, and I can put a simple form. You don't have no more use of your home anymore. Okay, you cannot live in your home. Your home is not livable. It's not habitable. You got to go somewhere else to live. So when you look at that policy and you see loss of use, you're going to see a dollar amount on that. Most of you probably don't know that, but you're going to see a dollar amount on that. And that dollar amount is saying to you, this is the money that we're going to give you to live. Because you can't live out, you cannot live in your home right now. So you got to stay somewhere, right? So that loss of use could, let's say if it was $20,000. So you got $20,000 to go live until your house gets fixed. Okay? You got, that's what it is. So certain things of your policy, you got to kind of like know. I mean, people are looking at, oh, well, my insurance, this, that, and the other. And then when something happens, it's like, well, I didn't know this. Okay? What if it take a year for your house to get built? Where are you going to live? How much is rent? Okay? If you live in somewhere it's $2,000 a month, that's $24,000 a year. Okay, what if it takes longer than that? Because you're fighting and stuff like that, and you need money to live, right? So you want that to pay. And they got that thing that your mortgage is still there. Okay? Your mortgage don't stop. Okay? So you got to kind of like figure certain things out, man, when it comes on to this. And this is where I come in, and I got both sides of it because I got my construction background and I also have my insurance background. Can't help for what I know. So if you are in that situation where your bank has forced place on it, you really need to correct that. You really could, because if something happens, look at that policy. You can always ask them, hey, look, I know you got insurance on me, and I know I'm not sure, but I need a copy of that. See where they have loss use, which means if something happens, where are you going to live? Who's going to pay for that? Yeah, you living in a house, there's no problem. You're paying the mortgage, you're doing all that kind of stuff, but where are you going to live? And where that money is going to come from? Sorry to tell you, but that's how that works. All right. So what I try to do is educate people on what they have and what they may forget about. Hey, and if I can help you, I'm going to help you. If it's something, if I'm going to be your agent, I'm going to be your agent. I'm going to tell you the things that you need to have or whatever the case may be. I cannot prevent a hurricane. I cannot prevent a natural disaster. I cannot do any of those things. I don't have that kind of power. But what I can do is say, hey, this is what you have. Okay, this is what you will get when something does happen. And you may be like, hey, you know what? I don't mind paying the extra little money if I know I'm going to get this. Or I don't, you know what? I really don't need that. I really don't need $500,000 of liability. I need $300,000. Okay, I get it. You know? So there are certain things that you need to know as a homeowner or as an investor or even as a renter. If you're a renter and you renting a property and something happens to that house, if you renting a house and that house somehow has a fire or anything like that, and you call your landlord and say, hey, I got a fire, in the house and it destroyed all your stuff, you're not covered. You do know that, right? Because you don't have a rentals policy. Okay? A renter's policy covers your stuff, your personal stuff, your clothes, your bed, your refrigerator, if that's yours. I mean, it covers your stuff. The owner who is owning that property, he's covering his building. He don't care about your refrigerator that you put in there. He doesn't care about your clothes or your shoes or your computer or whatever stuff you may have in that house that is being rented. Okay? So you have to, there's different dynamics to this whole thing. If you're living in a condo, okay, you got to make sure that, okay, what is my condo insurance is covering? What is do I got a master policy on this building? Okay, does this building has insurance in case something happens? Usually your insurance on there, which is like a HO6, it's going to cover from the inside wall in. All that's yours. Okay, if something happens, that's on your dime. But you need to also get a copy of that master policy and make sure that it covers your roof. Make sure it covers the outside wall. See what it covers on that. If you live in a condo, or if you have a condo association, or you live in a townhouse association, which may not cover, your insides or whatever of your house. So there's different situations that you can go through, and some of you guys get caught up in it, and sometimes you wait too late. And if you wait too late, then it's too late. Okay? So I'm going to continue to try to educate you guys. If there's roof damage, I understand. If you got something roof damage, you just want to get it patched up because you don't want the water. It's not about the insurance company worrying about the water damage now or leaks now. They're looking at the patchwork that can probably happen down the road. I know you can probably say, well, Darren, my house is not leaking. I haven't had a leak in, I don't know, since I've been here. I've been living here 20 years. I've been living here 30 years. I haven't had a leak. Okay, hey, I'm the messenger. I get it. But when those reports come in and they have dates on it and they have time frames on it, that's what they look at. Because they're looking at it, there's a time frame like, hey, we got this in right now, and we may have this policy for 2 or 3 years, we may have it for indefinitely, but at a certain point, we're gonna have to back out of this, okay? Because the risk is gonna be too great. Insurance is risk. That's all it is. You're paying a certain amount of money. Think about it, you're paying a certain amount of money today for a big investment. So if you're paying $2,500 today, let's say you just bought your home and you're paying $2,500, $3,000. That $3,000 is going against $400,000 or more. So you paying that $3,000. That's the risk that the insurance company is taking. That's why their job is maybe they don't want to pay or whatever case may be, but that's the risk. You paying that $3,000 for a $400,000 to $500,000 risk, depending on what you got. Okay. So you have to understand that. Now, if your house is paid for and you don't want to do that, then you take on that risk. So if something happens, hurricane destroys your property, then you got to come out your pocket to either rebuild your property or what have you. So with that being said, I also want to keep in mind, we had the holidays. Some of you guys have bought new stuff, in your home. I suggest that you take your smartphone, you take, your Android, whatever, and you take pictures of whatever, of each room. You take a little small video of each room of your house, and, you put it in the cloud somewhere so it's there. And in case something does happen, which we hope it doesn't, in case something does happen, you have all the documentation where you can provide to the insurance company that you have proof that you own this particular TV or couch or bedroom set, what have you. You have all the information. You can never have enough information. Okay, you can never have enough information. So with that being said, I'm tired of talking to you. This is good information. Pass this information along to somebody who you know. If you have anybody who has any questions regarding their homeowner's insurance, auto, whatever, give me a call. This is what I do. This is what I do for a living. I do the construction side. You see me with my roofs. You see me do this. This is what I do. I'm not coming to you saying I'm making cookies, which I can do, by the way. But this is what I do. All right? So, until next time, peace out.